Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. It is January 18th already, 2023, and we are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, where I'm joined by Jim Sinicropi, of course. I have Megan Kasperek, who is the Local Palate owner, and I have Abbi Aruck, who is the assistant manager. We're super excited to have you guys today. Today's show is brought to you by DeSanto Propane. They have been serving clean energy needs of upstate New York homeowners, businesses, and home builders since 1937. A family-owned company, they have developed a reputation for reliability and dependability that is actually the envy of the propane industry. They're a big sponsor here at FingerLakes1.com. Yeah, propane envy. That's a real thing around here. But welcome, ladies. We're super happy to have you. Are you excited to be here?
So excited. Very excited. A little nervous, but excited.
I was just talking off camera to them about how it was going to be the first time I went to Local Palate, and I was so excited. They have so many amazing lunch options, and I drive there, and it was like a holiday, and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't look at their Facebook that is super, super active, and they were closed, and I was like slowly crying in my car, like, no, because I just wanted something fresh and delicious and local, and I have to come back again now because I failed my first time. But I got them on the show so they can talk to you guys about what I'm talking about, because there's just so much you have going on. So we're going to dive into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the history of Local Palate. How did it come to be? You're the owner. Is this
Congratulations, too, by the way, for getting everything off the ground.
Thank you.
It's never easy, and everything you have going on is great, so I'm excited to hear the backstory.
Yeah, me too, because you've been around for 2 years now, so if you do that math, you started this whole business in a very interesting time in the world.
Yeah, for sure. I actually opened in the height of COVID, so a little crazy to do, but it felt like an appropriate time. The world shut down, and I wasn't working at the time. I was in the service industry, and we all kind of had to shut our doors, and I wasn't working, and I needed something to do with my time, so it kind of just, the planning process was started there. And then I started sourcing my food locally during that time, and I think at the time it was like when the shelves were bare, and if you source locally, you don't have that problem. And I discovered how incredibly hard it was to eat local.
In your own home, you're saying, instead of just going to the typical big box stores.
Right.
Yeah.
So it just kind of made sense at the time. I had been working as a bar manager, and my love was craft beer. And in the back of my mind, I had always had like this little bit of a dream of opening my own place one day, but didn't ever really think that it would come to fruition. Who has time for that, really? But time was created for me.
Right.
And so I started thinking about how I could move forward during COVID. And I knew that I couldn't open a bar because bars were dying at the time, but thought maybe a bottle shop, like a beer bottle shop. But New York State liquor laws are really weird, and because of the population of the area that I was looking at, I couldn't just open a bottle shop. So I could skirt around that by having my grocery license.
Interesting.
So that's actually where the idea of the locally sourced grocery was born. I had to have 50% of my business be non-alcoholic. So I created the grocery piece that was locally sourced, and that kind of became the forefront, and the beer actually took the back seat until about a year later. So when we first opened, it was all just locally sourced grocery. And as we progressed, we started doing grab-and-go lunches, and that kind of took off. And then the COVID restriction of the 6-foot rule was lifted in the summer of 2021, which was about 7 months into business. And so we closed down temporarily to finish remodeling the rest of our space and reopened as a full-service cafe. And when we did that, we saw a shift, and people were coming in less and less for the grocery piece and more for the food. So the grocery has actually scaled back little by little, and now it's almost just like a little boutique-y hutch in the market space that's like locally sourced products.
Right.
And then a big craft beer retail selection that we also serve in-house. And then a full service espresso bar, and then the rest of it is like a restaurant.
And
Jeez.
unique for downtown Phelps. Like,
Absolutely.
There was a community that was kind of aching for something like this. And what type of clientele are you seeing come through the door? Is it mostly local Phelps people who commute on 96, old, young? Where does it all kind of land?
Honestly, I kind of think we're all over the board. For the most part, it is local. We have a lot of local support. I think we kind of miss the pass-through traffic, surprisingly, a little bit. That's something that we're working on this year, being a little bit more
Out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think people for a really long time, it was just a pass-through town.
Right.
We are very much a part of the revitalization. There's a lot of new businesses popping up every day in Phelps, which is great. We are starting to see a pull from neighboring communities. And that's something that we're trying to focus on too, bringing people into Phelps. We've got the distillery a couple doors down now, Crafty's, the brewery, Kitty Corner across the street, a wellness spa across the street, a bakery. So we've got a lot going on now that people are starting to come into town.
If you look at 96, I was thinking about this too. Say we're going from Seneca Falls to Victor, to Eastview Mall or something like that.
Okay.
There aren't any other communities where you would stop along the way. Clifton
Right.
Springs, you have to get off of 96, and so people
Yep.
driving down 96 never even see Clifton Springs. Until you really get to like the Racino and Farmington, there isn't much. Phelps is the only place that you drive through a downtown, and so I think there is a lot of opportunity there too.
Even the Racino and Farmington, though, that's not like a downtown, like, there's not a lot of walking traffic
Yeah,
in
right.
Phelps, but if you wanted to, you could. Like, their sidewalks is paved, it's a cute space. I think that's also something that kind of pulls in. People, I think, are starting to notice us more in drive-through traffic. I had someone come in the other day, like, we're from Vermont, we saw this on Yelp, we thought we'd stop by right off the thruway. We're between exit 42 and 43 of the thruway, so if you're passing through, I mean, it's not that far of a stretch to just hop off and come see us.
That's true too, yeah.
And I think it's big that you guys, you're not fast food, you're not simple bar food, you're locally sourced, like healthier
Fresh.
options, fresh, that we don't have a lot of that around here. There's places popping up now, but especially in Phelps, like, you're like the one to do it. So
Absolutely.
I recognize you guys from, I'm like, I never go to Phelps, but you're so active on social media, which helps, and people are sharing, and people are like, oh, I went there and had an amazing breakfast, I went there and had an amazing lunch. You have just such a huge array of things to offer, and we haven't even got into the even like iceberg of it yet, because besides the restaurant, besides the coffee shop, the craft beer, you have events that go on every single day in your store.
Yeah.
What do we even call it? We call it, are we calling it a
Cafe,
restaurant,
market.
cafe?
Honestly, like,
It's hard because we do it all.
yeah. It's a cafe, it's a shop, It's
an experience.
We do still have people call it the store, even though it's not really a store anymore.
We should sell it
but-
as the Local Palate experience. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's a little bit of a throwback for a place like Phelps where people are maybe realizing, hey, we can go downtown again, for breakfast or lunch or dinner, or to have a night out to
Or to have
listen to
a
live
coffee
music.
and a pastry. Like like Local Palate, really, I love it there so much because we offer the variety, right? You can come in for breakfast and have a chill day, work in the lounge in the back. It's one of my favorite spaces. And you can just chill and have a coffee and do what you need to do. Or you can come back at 6 or 4 p.m. on a Thursday and do the burger battle with us. And I still serve, and we have other people who serve. Also, Megan, sometimes you'll see her serving too. Like, it's a small business, so we all do it. But that's part of what makes it so fun. We have the sense of community, and people always come back for us.
So she mentioned a burger battle, though.
Yeah,
That's the
burger
first
battle.
thing
We'll
that popped
we'll get
into
there.
my mind. Do we want to jump right into?
I just have one question.
All right, we're gonna let you ask that question.
It's obviously really focused around sourcing local,
Yeah.
from local providers. How do you, there's such a wide variety, and you have so many partners, it seems, and products that you're using. How do you build those relationships? Where do you start? And was there resistance from some people, or was everybody like just excited to be involved? Like how hard is it to truly locally source for a place like this?
It's challenging. It is challenging, but a lot of the legwork was done when I had a lot of extra time on my hands, which is something that I don't have now. But the concept was always like sourcing local as much as possible, responsibly when not. And I just really kind of did my due diligence and research about the companies that I wanted to work with and tried the products, and I loved them. So like it's really easy to be passionate about something that you already love, right?
Right.
So I would reach out to them and just develop relationships, and I don't know, it's just kind of transpired from there. And once you meet one, they introduce you to another, and it's just kind of like this community within a community.
Yep.
We all kind of work together and collaborate in different ways.
Yeah, I think it's great.
For example, like I source all of my coffee from Imprint Coffee Roasters, coffee roasting out of Sodas.
Yep.
And then we also work with Syrup Abbi Aruck in Clifton Springs, and they also work together on their end. So it's just, we all kind of work together.
Definitely there's a lot of synergy within the businesses that we all use.
That's awesome. So I want to dive into it because like I have a huge list here of Monday through Saturday events that not just happen once a day. You have things happening in morning, afternoon, sometimes later in the day.
Yeah, so we're open right now for 83 service hours a week.
Wow.
Service hours.
Wow.
Open to the public 83 hours a week. So Monday through Saturday. During the week, Monday through Friday, we open at 6:30 in the morning now, trying to capture that commuter traffic, which is something that we never had. We always opened at 8 prior to that. On Saturdays, we still open at 8 o'clock. And then Monday through Thursday, we close at 8 p.m. And
Wow.
we stay open an extra hour on the weekend, Friday and Saturday, for live music. So there's a lot going on. We serve breakfast, lunch, dinner. We run food specials on a regular basis. But yeah, there's always events going on too. The concept has always been creating community through food. So the locally sourced part is really important, but the community is where it's at, right? Especially during a time where we lost that due to COVID.
Right.
So now we're just trying to like rebuild that in the connection piece.
So yeah, walk me through some of the few events
I
that
think
you do.
so. Like Mike was saying, like Phelps is so big in community. Like something that I like always took advantage of when I was growing up there, and it's so nice to see it come like full circle and be a part of it now. And part of the way we drive that is by like having events that people will come to, and it's a lot of the same people recurring. Like we make friends with our customers. So on Mondays at 10 a.m. we have our book buzz, which is just like a social group. Not like a book club where you have an assigned read. It's more like you bring your current favorite read or not, and you can tie it up and do like a blind book date and just kind of exchange it, write 3 words on it that might entice someone else who likes to read. Which kind of hoping that more activities during the day also like bring more people that we want to create and build that sense of community, right? So if like we have this here, maybe more people who like books will come read and things like things like that. Build additional groups. And in the evening on Mondays we have beer bingo. That's one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun. It's 50 cents per board. Most people get 2 boards. Play 2 boards at once, $1 per game, and if you get bingo, you get a free beer.
Even just the Monday thing in the morning, you're like, okay, it's a little more laid back. We're having not a book club, but a group that can get together and talk about fun things that they're reading, and then you jump right into it and you're like, all right, let's go to beer bingo and let's drink some beer. That's really
we always
nice.
have really
There's literally something for everyone.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm getting at already on Monday. I'm
right, just
on
Monday, right? So like imagine what we have going on the rest of the week. And beer bingo starts at 6. Tuesday, we call it Tuesday spelled TWOS day because we do double loyalty points all day on Tuesdays. In the morning, we do our art classes. Those are from 9 to 11. We're led by Michael Nash. He is the creator of Shape Your Palate, which works perfect because we're the local palate, right? It just makes sense for him to teach there. So it's $15 for a drop-in fee for the class, or $48 for a bundle of 4. And they do something new every single week, and the materials are provided. And in the evening, those events typically change. So that's why staying up to date on our social media pages like Facebook and Instagram are really pretty helpful. But just yesterday, we did a Girl Scout cookie and beer pairing. So always something really fun going on, but they change. So just gotta stay up to date with that. On Wednesdays, we have a chess and checkers group. We have boards, just people come try and get them to play. Another way to build community. And then in the evening, same thing. We have events that change.
It's a wine, I noticed. On
Yeah, we do
Wednesday.
wine Wednesdays.
So which is, you talked about the craft beer and all the locally sourced food products, but I guess in Phelps, it's, if you're interested in wine in Phelps or Finger Lakes wine, it's a little bit off the beaten path in terms of like the wine trails that are generally south on the lakes. How do you approach that? Like, do you partner with certain wineries
Yeah.
for these things?
Yeah, and we actually have been trying to work with like more of the boutique wineries instead
Cool,
of like
yeah.
the big wineries that everybody knows about, right? Just try to start introducing people to like lesser known. We really only ever have mostly Finger Lakes. Every once in a while there will be like Long Island, but it's all New York State, because I can't tell you how many times I go to a restaurant in this area and it's like all California wine. And we just have so much to offer literally in our backyard. So I really wanted to highlight that.
I get mad when I go to a restaurant around here and they don't have any Finger Lakes
Yeah.
wines. It's fine to have wines from other parts of the world, of course, but
Right.
you have to, because I just picture myself as a tourist coming to this region and going out to dinner and then, you know, not being able to have Finger Lakes wine with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
We bring in wineries as well to do tastings. Like tonight, for example, we have a wine and cheese tasting. It's
Perfect.
featuring Anthony Road and Miranda Cheese and Lively Run Dairy. So
Perfect.
Some of
just
my
just
favorites.
like
Yeah.
a little,
Yeah, love all
introduction.
of them. Right, and I love how much you really do keep the local aspect of it. Like, you can tell that you're passionate about that, and with even each event, you're like, all right, this person's local from here, this person's local from here, as
It's like
it
thread
should
that ties
be.
it all together.
Right.
Which is, the intention.
Yeah, of course.
And then, so because we do Wine Wednesdays, we offer, all day happy hour on wine, $1 off glasses, $2 off bottles. And we also have events that come in and out of that. Like, we did a paint and sip event recently that was on a Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I've never worked one of those before, but it was definitely, it gets everyone involved, and it's a good time.
Of course.
Thursdays, we do like a stitch and sip group, so you can come.
Sewing?
It's like sewing or
Oh, I love
knitting,
that.
whatever kind of stitch you like to make with a
Right.
crochet, with like knitting needles. However, kind of same thing as like the book buzz, just like a social community group of people that want to that have similar
Share a hobby.
interest.
Yeah.
Common interest. And then, so Thursday night, after Stitch and Sip, we have the burger battle.
yeah, this
The-
thing was what caught my eye. Burger battle.
Yeah, so it starts
This is
at
the
4
biggest piece.
p.m. Yeah, so this is we stopped doing music on Thursday nights simply because Burger Battle carries its own weight. It's always busy. We've been selling out of burgers like early. We used to start it at 5, so to sell out of burgers by 7:30 was like wild. So
How does it work, Burger battle?
so Megan every Thursday goes and picks up the burgers fresh from Autumn's Harvest Farms in Romulus, and then we cook them. More info on that.
That sounds good. I'm in already.
No
All
raw
right,
burgers.
no raw burgers.
Rare, but not raw.
So essentially, we just introduced a new part of the burger battle. So it used to be there was 2 different kinds of burgers, and whichever burger you order casts your vote, and whichever burger gets ordered more will be on the menu again next week, next Thursday. Now we're doing a thing where customers can put in their suggestion for their burger.
On what kind of burger you guys will create?
Yes. So if you come in on Thursday and you're like, this burger's like, it's all right, but I think I have a better idea, you can write down the name of your burger, what you want on it, and your name and your email address. And if we pick your burger idea, we're like, you know what, Sydney's burger has potential to be our Local
Sounds nice,
Palate
doesn't
burger.
it? Yeah.
And like, if we choose it and you win, your next burger's on us. We send you a coupon for
Oh,
and we
cute.
so your burger's free
Right,
because
then
it
you
was
get a
your
free meal.
right.
It's your
But
burger.
if you can beat our burger, right? So it depends.
Oh, you got to win?
Yeah, you have to
Yeah, you gotta
win.
win.
You have
Okay.
to win to get your burger. So
Love a
but,
good competition.
yeah. So but that's a new thing. So literally just last year, it was like just us generating the burger idea. So it's cool now that the community can also have
course.
their input too, because people have been sending us their opinions regardless if we wanted them or not. So now we have lots of cool burger ideas, and it's just another fun way to build community, get to know our locals that come in all the time.
Of course. And then we have Friday. What happens on Friday?
Friday?
We're going through the whole list.
I know.
read it
Friday
all.
we have a bunko group at 10 a.m. Still building that up a little bit, looking for more people to come and do bunko with us on Fridays. And on Friday nights, we do live music. Live music starts at 6 p.m. So that our live musicians change frequently.
Of course.
But Friday and Saturday, we have live music at 6 p.m. And Saturday morning, we do brunch.
Oh, can't
So-
go wrong
More
with brunch.
traditional, yeah.
It's not traditional though, because there's
Well-
a twist.
Now, this year, we're doing themed brunch. So every month, the theme will change. This month, for January, it's been my favorite. I grew up on the Golden Girls, love the Golden Girls. So it just made sense to make the first one Stay Golden themed.
Of course. So what does that entail, that it's a theme? Do you dress up? Is the food?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we decorate, the food is themed, the drinks are themed.
She makes me dress like an old lady when I serve people.
That's so fun though.
It is fun. It is really fun. And we also have like a photo op, like
Of course.
for the Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. You know what I mean? Like things that make sense.
Yeah.
And we really try and create a fun environment, like playlists that match the theme, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good time. And
Oh,
so we
that's
only offer our brunch menu on Saturdays from 8 to 2. A lot of people are coming and be like, can I get lunch? I'm like, not until 2. But that's just because it takes time for the kitchen to transfer
Right.
things over too. But we do recommend making reservations for brunch, and
Yeah, I'd
brunch reservations we can take for any size.
So you're really offering something for everybody in the community across
Absolutely.
all demographics. Do you find that your morning events are more senior oriented?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
they
for
gotta
sure.
love having,
Of
I mean, I
course.
look forward to retirement one day and I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with my time. I'd
You're
be
gonna get on their Facebook
looking
and
for
you're gonna be
something to
like,
do.
You're like checkers on Wednesday. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Especially
Yeah.
living, especially smaller communities like Phelps or
Right.
like most of the communities in the Finger Lakes here. It's great to have options and the community aspect too, to get people out of their houses, especially this time of year, downtown,
Yeah.
to meet with other people and do fun things.
And Phelps is kind of a central point. Like it's not that too far from here. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a good middle ground. Like it's not. I feel like it's not too far of a drive for anybody. And we always offer something for somebody.
No,
yeah,
it's
we're
fun.
used to traveling in the
minutes.
Finger Lakes. We have
Right.
to
Yeah.
get
To
to
go
places
anywhere.
that we want to.
We're already
So
driving. Yeah.
Going to Phelps is nothing.
The piece
Yeah.
that Abby just said, something for everyone, is literally like throughout the entire theme of Local Palate, right? So especially with the events, but also with the menu. For the events, yes, our daytime activities are a little bit more leisurely, something the retired demographic will enjoy and just find people to share a hobby with. And then the evening activities are a little bit more of a let loose, wind down from your day kind of.
Right.
Go out with a few friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
But then the menu also, there is literally something for everyone. As far as drinks are concerned, we serve non-alcoholic beverages as well, but beer, wine, cider, and then we actually, we have a full espresso bar. We collaborate with Kombucha Tribe, which couldn't get more local. He literally brews his kombucha out of our kitchen.
Oh, perfect.
And so, drink menu, something for everyone. Food menu, like I said before, we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There are vegetarian options, there's gluten-free options, there's vegan options, there's meat lover options.
Jeez.
Literally, we try to, the whole point is to bring everybody together. I never wanted to exclude anybody. If you have a group of 10 people going out for a birthday dinner and one person is plant-based,
Right.
I don't
Right.
want them to have to be like, oh, we can't go here. So there's literally something for
And
everyone.
do you feel like there's momentum, like somebody comes one week and next time you see them, they bring two of their
Yes.
friends? You see
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of that?
All the time.
That's
I
awesome.
see that a lot with Burger Battle. Like I feel like 'cause I work Thursday nights, so and I enjoy it. I really do have a good time doing that. But I always tell one person about it, and then he brought his friend, and then next time two more men came with their friends, and then they brought their wives, and I was like, wow, we have a whole you really see you can physically see the word of mouth travel, because I'm telling people Burger Battle's really cool. They come in for a coffee at 8 a.m. Burger Battle's tomorrow night, and they're like, all right, maybe I'll stop by. They do. Next week they come with 3 more people. You can see it, and that's a good feeling too. Knowing that you can see the paying off.
But I think some of that also comes back to the community piece, right? Because we're not there just to serve you food. We're not there just to serve you drinks. We're not there just to, call bingo or whatever. The point there is to literally create a second home for people and just bring friends and family together. And it's really hard sometimes. I haven't had the time to really just kind of sit back and soak it all in. But every once in a blue moon, especially like on a music night, if I just kind of am from the back of the room,
Yep.
just kind of looking around, see people dancing in their seats, seeing people laugh from their tables, like that's what it's all about, right? So
Yeah.
I think that that's what kind of sets us apart from like your average place where you can just go get a burger.
And
Get
you gotta be
served and
almost, like a hero to like the Phelps business community, the Phelps town board. It's become almost like an anchor for downtown that maybe more can.
I mean, I don't
She's
really
like,
want to.
yes.
No. I don't
She's
think
too
so.
humble.
I just, but I do try to kind of set the bar because somebody told me something one day, and it really has just kind of stuck with me. And they said that Phelps is a pass-through town, and I don't believe that. I think that we have something in our community that I think that a lot of other communities lack, and that literally is the community piece, right? Some of the people that I call when something goes wrong and I need somebody there, it's an old customer of mine, somebody that I've been serving for years at different establishments, and
Right.
like those are relationships that I've built over the years, and that's the community piece that we all need and that we need to kind of like get back to. I think that we lost that during COVID, and that's
Well, sometimes a community like Phelps needs someone like you to show them that it can be done.
And, yeah.
And it can be done, and it is being done. There are a lot of other great businesses that have been there before me and have been there alongside of me and have popped up since me, but there's still space. So if you're considering opening a business, consider Phelps, because we are in the beginning stages of the revitalization, but I think that it
things
has
to
a lot to offer.
And Phelps is like, I feel like I am from like Phelps and Clifton, and I grew up there, and from when I graduated even to now, I feel like it's a completely different town. Like there's so many things happening, and I absolutely believe that Local Palate's on the forefront of that. Like we're part, like I'm not saying we're the only reason, but there's definitely like
course.
a lot of reason that there's life back in Phelps that there wasn't always.
Yeah, that's great.
before.
Well, you filled a space that was vacant from a former.
Yeah, it was vacant for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and for a long time when you went through Phelps,
It
the
felt it.
majority of it was
Right.
vacant. But I had mentioned we have a wonderful distillery now that, Pete Cheney went on the Moonshiners, I think is what it's called, on the Discovery Channel, and won. Like, here is the New Yorker beating out the Southern boys on a moonshine competition.
that.
And now, like, we have so many people that will travel into town just to visit the distillery.
Of course.
But we all piggyback on that, right?
Right.
Because it's just like this little strip, and you can come to Local Palate for something to eat. You've got, like I said before, a wonderful bakery across the street, a spa. I mean, like,
And
you can
beautiful
literally do it
homes
all.
leading up to downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some cobblestones, some old farmhouses, all cut up. It's really nice if you're coming into the town from the east. It's a nice stretch of residential
Yeah, it is.
area. Got a food stand on the other side. You have the big greenhouse.
Yeah.
Which I've bought
We
some
need a
stuff
couple
from.
shops. So if
Yeah.
anybody's looking to open like a little gift shop.
A
There
boutique,
isn't
yeah.
any really of those. Yeah, it's mostly like food.
Definitely good food though down
yeah,
there.
definitely good food. That's what
Speaking
really
of that,
matters.
sorry, I just thought of something else. You guys also dabble in catering too, correct?
We do, yeah.
So that's,
Yep.
I'm just like, there's so much that you have done, and we have to remember it's only been 2 years, and
Yeah.
those 2 years have been not even the full
The first year wasn't a real
capacity.
year, yeah.
Of
Yeah.
what you can do, and I think of the events in the summer. I think of like kids off of school and how much opportunity you
in
have.
the summertime, like when I first started at the Local Palate, like we have an outdoor space. I mean, granted, it's like on the sidewalk, but it's outside when
It's
it's,
a wide
nice out. It's a
sidewalk
wide
there, yeah.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like we have these nice like outdoor tables. So like in the summertime, you can listen to live music outside and eat
That's
outside too.
huge.
Like that's something Phelps doesn't have, and like it's cold right now, but in the summertime it'll be back.
Of course. Yeah, like I said, it's like really you are just getting started in a way still, and
Yes,
that's the
but
exciting part.
I have a little bit of a problem. I can't sit still, so it's always on to the next thing.
No,
As soon
that's
as we
good.
get it under our belt, what's next?
We
Let's
can
move
see
on.
that from the involvement of 2 years, 1.5 maybe.
There's more coming. There's
Not
more
even.
coming.
Yeah,
That's
so
like-
this is the time I want you guys to plug your websites, your social media, your hours?
Yeah, where can people find you
Well,
online and physically?
Actually, one of the things that we do have coming up is I am in the process of flipping a mobile cart right now. So come spring, we will actually be able to take Local Palate on the road.
Oh, that's
But
exciting.
as far as where you can find us, we are on Instagram and Facebook, and it is Local Palate FLX is the handle.
Underscore FLX, Local Palate underscore FLX.
And our website, of course. We are very active on social media, but we are new to Untapped for the beer drinkers of the world.
Did notice that, yep.
So now you can always be up to date on our beer selection, which is extensive.
We always have good beer.
I
Like,
have a
always.
problem.
A good problem.
Really like to buy beer.
We also have our own beer with partnered with Crafties,
Yeah.
which is the
yeah.
brewery kitty corner that Megan had already mentioned. But that's another one of those local community pieces. Like, who has beer with the brewery across the street? Local Palate does.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome. And your hours for people to come in?
Yes, hours are Monday through Saturday. During the weekday, we open at 6:30 in the morning, close at 8 o'clock at night. Fridays and Saturdays, we close at 9 o'clock because we have live music. And on Saturday mornings, we open at 8.
Beautiful.
It is pretty consistent as far as, but it's just kind of,
You can find all that, like you said, in all
Yes.
the places that you mentioned, and just like that, it's
Yeah,
like already
congratulations.
time.
Thank
It's
you so
amazing.
much.
Great
Yeah.
job.
Thanks for having us
Continued
here.
Yeah,
success,
thank you.
and I'll be stopping out for sure very
Yeah,
soon.
I think the last thing I'm going to say is when I saw Local Palate, I thought, okay, this is a lot healthier food. This is something maybe that the person who's so used to going to a restaurant with fast food and things like that, they'd be a little intimidated to go in thinking it might be, more of the healthier, uppity side.
sounds like
and it's
everything.
not.
I was going to say, it is healthier
Right.
It doesn't
and
have to be.
fresh, but you don't have to be a health junkie to
Right.
enjoy it.
Right.
We do have like,
Something
You
you know,
Right.
we actually have a sandwich called the Manwich.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Which
that's
is
got
literally just our house roasted beef
yum.
with peppers and onions, and yeah. So
And you
there
have a
is
burger
some
battle.
yeah.
and our baker, like all of our bakery items are baked in house. Like it's a fresh place. It's a good place to be. You know what I mean?
fresh. That's the key word. Is like you're finding fresh local food, and you don't need to be afraid because there's
Yeah.
something for everybody.
And it's a really
You don't have to
welcoming
be a gym
environment.
junkie to come here.
yeah, right. You encourage everybody, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's a
And-
really welcoming environment, and I think Kel's face is really he's our employee of the month. He's gonna shout out. But his welcoming face really creates an environment. I think anybody who comes to Local Palate knows him, and he really contributes to that environment too, keeping it like a really
For sure.
happy place to be. Yeah.
Love
Great.
that. That's big. So just like that, it's already time for us to go. So again, thank you
you.
so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
coming on the show. I can't wait to get there when you guys are actually open. And of course, if you enjoyed this show, you can click like, you can share with your friends, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back again next Wednesday. And until then, have a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes.